Greetings, this is Terra Illumination. It's Friday, 13th of October, 2023. This video is for the Pisces folks. It's part of a mini-series for all 12 signs. However you want to do it, Sun, Moon, Rising is popular. Regarding the new moon solar eclipse in Libra, it's happening, basically coming up right now. It's going to be very acute, actually visible, depending on the clouds or whatever, tomorrow in the United States, Oregon, Nevada, Utah, maybe Arizona, I think, and Texas. Keep an eye out. So what is an eclipse? Here's an example. This is a solar new moon eclipse. The moon is just doing what it does, orbiting the Earth. The sun is doing what it does, sitting in the middle of our solar system. We orbit around the sun, but it just so happens, the way the geometry all works out, it's quite amazing that it gets to the point where you can have this, where the moon literally transits right in front of the sun to basically eclipse the sun. Eclipse, that's what an eclipse is. The moon eclipses the sun, so that the sun is effectively like gone, voided, vaporized, disappeared. And in mythological times, it was very scary for a lot of people. They regarded eclipses as like evolutionary thresholds in life and world experience, and I still feel that today. And it's also interesting in terms of the sacred geometry, how the moon in one of these new moon solar eclipses just happens to be the same size relative to us, such that it just perfectly blocks out the sun. You'll get an annular ring around the outside, but that's about it. The moon doesn't look bigger than the sun, it doesn't look much smaller. But anyway, it's quite a phenomenon. So with this new moon solar eclipse, it's happening in the sign of Libra, and for the Pisceans, that's in your 8th house. Now, if you just look at the theme of eclipses in general, what is being eclipsed out of your life by this solar new moon eclipse? Relationships, relationship dynamics in that area of your life. This eclipse also aligns closely with the South Node. And the South Node is all about part of our evolutionary journey in this life. Like if we do private readings, the South Node and the North Node axis is a very important aspect of your personal astrology. And the whole idea is that everyone's born with default settings, default behavior. And the default setting behavior with a Libra South Node is that we take certain dynamics, conditions, aspects, people, relationships for granted, and that's all done on autopilot without any conscious thought or awareness, because it's already like been there, done that. It's like blueprinted into us. But it's at the point where it's obsolete, obsolescence. We've already evolved as far as we can go, and the point is to evolve out of that now. And people a lot of times don't want to do that. A lot of times people don't become aware of the South Node energy until they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. Because it's typically uncomfortable when you discover, like, oh my God, so much of my life is on autopilot. It's just conditioning, birth, circumstances, culture, who raised me, what kind of world did I grow up in, what kind of schooling, which religion, which race, which gender, and all those kinds of things. It all adds up to stuff that comes as your default setting. But eventually, we have to take full ownership and, let's say, clean house when it comes to things that are obsolete. So you're no longer operating just on autopilot. You are actually fully in charge of your being. You have full ownership. That means Aries North Node, where you take full ownership and responsibility for who you are. Now this recording here is not about the Aries North Node. It's not about the node journeys. It's just about the new moon solar eclipse, but it just happens to align with the Aries, with the Libra South Node, so that's why I'm mentioning it, okay? So how does this affect you directly, Pisces? Let's have a look. We're going to go over here to the stage where we can figure it out. So it's happening for you, Pisceans, in the 8th house. New starts and new beginnings. Also, evolutionary thresholds where you enter life here. Doopy, 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 doop. What? Whoa! And then you are elevated here through the two-sided double-door elevator, and then you come out that side. Sometimes it's very uncomfortable, because it means you're having to say goodbye to the obsolete and redundant, which you might hold very dear. So in the 8th house, what are we talking about? Pluto, Scorpio energy, Mars a little bit. But here are some keywords that some people associate with the 8th house. Sex, procreation, deep soul merger, deep soul spirituality between self and another, self and nature. Death, going beyond the veil. Another word is taxes. Taxes are inevitable wherever you go, and nobody likes it. It's extracting life out of you, which is a form of slow motion death. The other aspect is OPM, other people's money, investments, pensions, insurance, inheritance, savings plans, Social Security, things like that, welfare programs, your IRAs, your 401ks, your retirement packages, all those things come up over here in your Libra 8th house, okay, Pisces? Going deeper in, we're talking about birth, procreation, and death. We're talking about the aspects of human life experience that are so profound, in some ways it's absolutely frightening to actually ponder it. Like the whole idea that this person, typically this male with this female, they can connect through sex and initiate procreation, creating another human being. It's mind-boggling. It's a mind-boggling phenomenon when you think about it. Also, it's the energy of hidden power and the energy of raw power itself. I mean, just think about it. It's an amazingly powerful thing. Well, again, a lot of it happens on autopilot. Oh, boy meets girl. You're hot. Let's do it, baby. Oh, I forgot my contraception. Oh, no. Boing. There's another human being. That's power, man. Did you know you have that power inside of you? Did you know you had that power inside of you? It happens. A lot of it happens on autopilot. Natural selection. But as we mature and grow in life, typically over time, we start to realize that there's things that are no longer acceptable, redundant. So for the Pisceans in the 8th house, regarding any of these subjects, most commonly, my feeling, it would be to do with your finances, because they're the easiest to understand in the 8th house. These other subjects here are much more difficult to understand or put into words in this little tiny short video, okay? So with the 8th house over here in Libra, are you starting to realize that there are certain autopilot conditions and relationships that you might have inherited that are actually redundant, obsolete, dysfunctional? Are you realizing that, oh my God, some of it's being ripped away, eclipsed, torn away in such a way that I don't have what I had on autopilot? That might feel very uncomfortable. On the other hand, if whatever you had as your, let's say, default settings in relationships in this part of your life, if there was a lot of dysfunction, you might really appreciate the eclipse here. In other words, I can't do it, I don't know how to do it, and it's being ripped away from you, for you, by the planets, so to speak. So obsolete, redundant relationships, like maybe Maybe you're with the wrong insurance company. Maybe you're with the wrong job. Maybe you invested your money improperly. Maybe some nasty people took hold of your money somehow by scamming you, and they claim that they're investing it, but what they did is steal it, and so on and so on. So the idea is that this might be very uncomfortable, or it could be relief for you. And then you figure out, well, where does that take me? Because the Aries North Node is over here. That's a whole separate video series, probably. We'll see. This is the South Node. This is the North Node. This is the new moon solar eclipse in Libra. And so the idea would be to take charge, be the boss, take full ownership of your second house issues to do with money, property, rights, values, beliefs, your stuff, your savings, your income, so that you are not living on redundant autopilot relationships. The thing about the eclipse is that it's supposed to happen for you, evolution, for your benefit, so that you can adapt, so that you can survive. If you don't adapt, you die. In other words, evolution is in 2 words, is adapt or die. So it ends up to you anyway. Goes back to you, the sovereign self, you, Aries. Okay? This is your second house, so the Aries energy for you is in your second house. But for you, Pisces, by the way, Pisces, I know you've been under a lot of pressure for a long time right now. You've had Neptune there for years. You've got Saturn there right on the cusp, like acting as a sort of bookend for the whole of the Pisces 30-degree segment. And there's been a lot of pain and suffering for Piscean theme people across the world. So please allow for, let's say, disruptive, unsettling things. Please be willing to let go of the ones that are obsolete, okay? Because you don't want to bring on, let's say, negative interpretations of this. Unhealthy sexual situations, unhealthy deep soul merger, inappropriate death, unacceptable taxes, toxic conditions with your money, okay, through other people. You don't want to have a situation where power is being abused against you, okay, by other people, okay? You gotta reveal it to heal it. So please see this eclipse as a blessing, okay? Now, if you really want to get deep into it, Pisces, you can come over here to terraillumination.com. You can donate, please. And then you can also book a reading, and we can get deep into it for you personally, okay? Meanwhile, thank you very much. You might be able to see it. Do your own research. Good luck. All the best, Pisces. Bye-bye.